this topic and said, well, here's one that worries me about Hillary. And yes, the death penalty was one of the topics addressed the next day. That's not the only one. We have hacked emails showing John Podesta revealing collusion with NBC News. You ever needed more evidence about the mainstream media's complete and total corruption or validation of what I said in 2007 and 8, that journalism is dead? Well, you got a new batch of emails show that sympathetic and complimentary emails sent by the New York Times contributor and CNBC host John Harwood to Hillary's campaign manager, John Podesta. And Harwood was dismissive of the controversy surrounding Clinton, even criticizing his own outlet on more than one occasion. I must say, he says to Podesta, that though I don't know the terms, I find it weird that the New York Times made some sort of deal with the guy writing the book. Harwood emailed in April, or apparent reference to the Times' decision to collaborate with Peter Schweitzer, who wrote Clinton Cash. In another email, Harwood trashed the New York Times for reporting that Joe Biden was considering entering the race. And perhaps the most troubling is Harwood trashed Donald Trump to Podesta. I imagine that Obama feels some vindication at the demonstration of his year-long point that the opposition party is veering off the rails, he said. I certainly am feeling that way with respect to how I questioned Trump at our debate. Wow. Then we got a report that Univision chief was urging the Clinton camp to hit Trump, according to these hacked emails. And again, Donna Brazile shared a question before the town hall that took place. And it goes on. And the New York Times gave Hillary veto power over the things that they were running. And the Boston Globe coordinated with how to maximize Hillary's presence. I mean, this is beyond corruption on a level that we've never seen before. And that doesn't even touch on the surface of Hillary praising Vladimir Putin, the very thing she's been attacking Donald Trump for. Or bragging that, yeah, you've got to take one position privately and a very different position behind the scenes. Or the fact that she wants open borders in the entire Western Hemisphere, which would mean 600 million people have access to the United States. Here to try and sort all of this out for us is former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. You know, for all these years, I have been making the case journalism is dead, and I feel vindication on a level that I never thought I would feel, but more importantly, sadness that it is worse than I ever thought.
Well, look, I think that you have to understand that the news media is Hillary Clinton. Not that they like her. They are her. It's their world. It's their machine. It's their social relationships. It's their parties. You have, very important newsman who gives $75,000 to the Clinton Foundation, but pretends he's neutral. The fact is, you have the brother of the number 2 person in the National Security Council is the head of CBS News. But we're supposed to believe they don't collude, they don't compare notes. NBC held a tape for 11 years, and it happened to break and happened to be the center of the news media the same day as the Wiki-leaks of Hillary Clinton's secret speeches, so that they could cheerfully avoid covering Hillary while trying to destroy Donald Trump. And we all are supposed to believe this is all an accident. What you have is a system of left-wing thought in which well over 80%, maybe as high as 90% of the news media will vote against Trump while asking us to believe that they're somehow neutral. Well, they're not. They are the active opponents of conservatism. They're the active advocates of liberalism, and they've gotten worse over the years. And you saw it in both the first 2 debates at the presidential level, where he had to go up against Lester Holt and Hillary Clinton in the first debate, and Trump had to go up against both Martha Raddatz and Anderson Cooper, as well as Hillary Clinton in the second debate. It was very one-sided in how they would get involved and how they would ask questions and how they would argue.
Let me give you some more detail.